At some point in our lives, we've always wondered how it feels to be a celebrity. You could be a Grammy Award-winning singer or an Oscar-winning actor. We know for a fact that at least once, we have dreamed and fantasized about being like the people we see on our TV screens or hear on our music playlists. Celebrity culture has been well documented and talked about, especially in the social media age we are currently living in today. It starts off when we are kids, and even as we get older, we can't help but admire and sometimes even envy the people who entertain us with their hard work and dedication. The amazing thing is that although we see these famous celebrities as larger than life, and don't be mistaken, some of them really are, they started off living normal low-key lives that some of us may actually be living today. It's always nice and puts things into perspective when we see these people before they were famous, and it can't help but motivate and inspire us to achieve greater things ourselves. Hello YouTubers, this is Morongo TV. Motivation, inspiration, fun. For today's video, we will be talking about before they were famous. We are starting off our list with Jon Hamm. He is well known for playing the advertising executive Don Draper in AMC's hit series Mad Men. Before he caught his big break, Jon Hamm was a struggling actor failing to make ends meet in the early days of his career. After graduating college in 1993, he went on to teach 8th grade acting in his old high school. He did not want a normal career though, and decided to set his sights on something bigger, and decided to move to LA. Moving to Los Angeles in 1995, he worked as a waiter while being represented by an agent to help him get any roles he could. He would also do theater acting, which included a performance of Flavius in a production of Shakespeare's Timon of Athens with the Sacred Fools Theater Company. After not being able to land any on-screen roles for 3 years, he was let go by his agent. A factor why he couldn't get any roles was because Jon Hamm apparently looked older than his age. He continued working as a waiter, and briefly, as a set dresser for adult films. You heard that right. Jon Hamm worked in porn. Thankfully, he landed his role in Mad Men, and the rest is history. Even the biggest stars in the world have to start somewhere. Enter the world of Brad Pitt. It's almost hard to imagine that this megastar had to start off small. But just like everyone else, he had humble beginnings as well. Before he went on to star in some of the biggest movies in the world, the veteran actor spent some time in his life working some odd jobs. Brad Pitt was born in Shawnee, Oklahoma in 1963. His family eventually moved to Springfield, Missouri, where he spent the vast majority of his formative years. Attending Kickapoo High School, Pitt was an exceptional athlete in golf, swimming, and tennis. Other extracurriculars include school debates and musicals. He enrolled in the University of Missouri, majoring in journalism. As his graduation approached, he felt something wasn't quite right, and wasn't sure whether or not this was the right path for him. He's always been an avid movie lover, and he decided to go to the place where he could pursue a career in film. 2 weeks before completing the required coursework, he dropped out of college and moved to Los Angeles. Before starring in career-defining roles, Brad Pitt worked part-time for an El Pollo Loco chain where he would dress up in a chicken costume encouraging customers to buy their chicken. Fast forward to today, he's one of the biggest stars in Hollywood, and this past year he won his first Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor for his role as Cliff Booth in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I guess it's safe to say that it all worked out for Brad Pitt in the end. Next on our list is Gwen Stefani. The 3-time Grammy Award winner has been one of the most popular solo acts of the 21st century. Starting off as a singer of pop group No Doubt and eventually embarking on a solo career in 2004, Gwen Stefani has reached heights that only few people can dream of. Both a critical and commercial success, it's interesting to know that Gwen Stefani has had her share of part-time job experiences that some of us can relate to. Growing up in Anaheim, California, Gwen Stefani was named after a stewardess in the Novel Airport. Her parents were fond of folk music and exposed her to many genres of music at an early age. Before she became the singer of No Doubt, she actually spent her time working in Dairy Queen. She earned her first dollar working behind the cash register in the famous ice cream parlor franchise. Shortly after, her brother introduced her to Madness and the Selector, who were forming a pop group and invited her to provide the vocals. We all know what happens from there, and it's very amusing to know that she had her early start working in Dairy Queen. The next time you go to a Dairy Queen, you could very well be meeting the next Gwen Stefani. Noel Gallagher. Known as the lead guitarist, occasional vocalist, and chief songwriter of the former British rock band Oasis, Noel Gallagher never knew he was destined for great things. Growing up in Manchester, England, Noel Gallagher grew up in a working-class family in a working-class city. He was the second of 3 brothers in his family. With the youngest, Liam, he has been known to have a complicated working relationship with him that stemmed from their early years. Suffering a violent childhood at the hands of his abusive father, Noel Gallagher along with his brothers were regular truants at that age. Noel would skip school, associate with hooligans, getting into all sorts of trouble including robbing a corner shop. Noel at the age of 13 started playing guitar and quickly immersed himself in the world of music. He eventually wanted to pursue a career in music. When he was 21, he did exactly that and became a roadie for the Inspiral Carpets. He initially auditioned to be the group's vocalist, but instead they got him to be part of the road crew, where he developed a bond with one of the fellow roadies over their love of the Beatles, and they spent their sound checks dissecting the group's songs. When Noel came back from a North American tour, his brother Liam informed him that he was in a band and invited him to become the band's manager. Noel declined, but offered to be the band's lead guitarist and primary songwriter, as he felt the band couldn't write songs to save their lives. Oasis ended up becoming one of the biggest rock bands in the history of music, benefiting from the songs that Noel wrote, and even after a decade after they split up, their influence and legacy can still be felt today. Taylor Swift. Arguably one of the most successful, if not the most successful artist of the past decade, Taylor Swift was born on December 13, 1989 in West Reading, Pennsylvania. Before she set on a path to international acclaim and Grammy Award-winning success, Taylor Swift lived a modest life with a modest family. Being the daughter of a stockbroker and a homemaker, Swift spent her early years on a Christmas tree farm. The farm was purchased by her father, who then turned it into a profitable business. It only made sense that before she was the youngest artist signed by the Sony ATV music publishing house, she spent her early adolescent years helping the family business. Growing up on the Christmas tree farm, Swift's family often sold trees to other families around the neighborhood. She was too young to cut down any trees, so her father put her in charge of exterminating the bugs that were in the trees. Taylor Swift was officially a Christmas tree exterminator before pursuing a career in music. We all know she eventually landed her first record deal at the age of 15. After a few years of grinding and getting her name out there, she eventually released her second studio album, Fearless, and rose to international stardom. She could have eventually continued the family tradition of tree chopping and house visiting, but we're pretty sure she's happy with how things turned out. That does it for our video before they were famous. Thank you all so much for watching. If you liked our video, please hit the like button and feel free to leave a comment below on other facts on these celebrities or other celebrities' lives that you know of before they became famous. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and click on the notification bell to be updated with our videos. This is Morongo TV. Motivation, inspiration, fun. Until next time, YouTubers!